Welcome back, guys and gals. It's good to see you all this early on. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Tomer, the CMO of Kima. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure being here. Thank you for having me and having us, Kima.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
All right. So before we begin, could you briefly explain, introduce yourself and also Kima Network to our dear listeners?
Of course, I would love to. My name is Tomer. I'm a CMO of Kima. I'm coming from a cybersecurity background. I'm digital marketeer for the last 25 years. Entrepreneur myself, since I can remember myself. Had two successful exits. Became an angel investor about 12 years ago. Investing in various companies, also doing strategic advisory with BD and marketing to various projects. And Kima is my day-to-day baby, my 24/7. And that's it in a nutshell.
I see. I see. 12 years. It's a long period of time. If you're one of the early ones.
Yeah, yeah. I've been around. I started in the dark ages of the internet, somewhere
Yeah,
back there in dark ages, before SEO became a thing, because before content management systems became a thing. We used to actually write code to create websites and stuff. It was
brilliant.
very
Another
old school.
another time, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Completely
yeah.
different. So about Kima, we know, as from your website, I'm sure many of people in here might already know about Kima a little bit, but you on your website you advertise any user, any blockchain, all the liquidity, all the time, and also every transaction, every time. So could you explain a little bit about what exactly Kima does and what's special about it, maybe?
Of course, I will be more than happy to explain. So, Kima is a very unique interoperability blockchain layer. We're basically a communication protocol, a decentralized communication protocol that allows every blockchain on Earth now and in the future to communicate with each other. And not only that, but we're enabling the centralized world for the first time in history to speak directly to the decentralized world and decentralized ecosystems with no intermediaries in a completely decentralized manner. That's in order to explain from above what Kima does. Doing it without smart contracts, without oracles, without bridges.
Mhm.
And we're doing it by allowing the Kima network to be the pipe that communicates and executes on all other blockchains. We're completely agnostic to the asset type, asset class, to the blockchain technology the network is built on, or the ecosystem from the outside is built upon, now and in the future. And we're doing it by having the amazing and unique attributes of the Kima network.
Right. Thank you so much. And how about the team that you're working with? How many coworkers do you have? Things like that. What are their specialties?
Okay, so we have a team, I think, today about maybe 30 people. We grew very, very fast. As you can guess, most of our team is development team. Although we have some, people that are not that smart like me in the team, that we're just doing the marketing, business development, the partnerships, and these things. My amazing marketing and BD team that are with us. Overall, we're about 30 people. The company has three founders, very interesting people. Our founder that invented this whole mechanism, his name is Eitan Katz. Um, has a vast history of managing accelerators for HP. Used to work in
Wow.
BMC, in Bitcoin since forever, like since the days of the white paper
I see.
era. And they also been part of the team that invented the first MPC cold wallet in the world, Project Aegis, in 2013 to 2014. 2013 to 2014. That was the initial ignition to what became Kima today. But this
I see.
a
Very
long story.
excited to learn more. Thank you so much for that explanation. And I want to ask, how does Kima Network change the landscape of interchain transactions compared to already existing solutions? You said you were the first, so I want to learn more.
Yeah. Yeah, we are the first because I said that we're the only ones who can basically communicate to the centralized world, and the first, due to the fact that our blockchain has a very, very unique nature.
Mhm.
Our blockchain, I'll start by saying, has 0 users and has no smart contracts.
Wow.
So every blockchain on Earth at the moment works by smart contracts that are managing assets on the blockchain itself.
Hmm.
Kima works in a whole different way. Kima works in a way that the Kima network is managing assets on all other blockchains
I
in a
see.
completely decentralized manner. Yes. I will give a small example that helps people understand exactly how we're doing this magic. So imagine that we're now sending 100 USDC from Solana to Ethereum.
Hmm.
Then the process would be that there's a smart contract on Solana and a smart contract on Ethereum. I'm sending 100 USDC on Solana. The smart contract confirms receiving the 100 USDC and initiates a smart contract transaction on Ethereum, hence the bridge. And on Ethereum, I'm getting the $100, the 100 USDC. Now, the problem with this is that the smart contract is basically a software.
Yeah.
Softwares were created by men. Everything that was written by men can be hacked by another man or woman in that example.
Yes.
So while we are at it, if I'm finding a way to replicate, for example, the same confirmation signature that I received from the first 100 USDC over and over again, I can basically trick the smart contract that I'm sending every time $100, even though I'm sending nothing with my transaction. Then 0, 100, 0, 100, 0, 100. Or let's say that I'm finding a way to trick it by sending 1 cent and I'm able to trick it that it just received $100.
Mm.
Then 1 cent, 100, 1 cent, 100, 1 cent, 100, until I'm completely draining the funds out of the other side of the bridge. That's how usually these things are happening, usually how these hacks are happening. And at the end of the day, we tend to believe that every bridge on Earth will finally get hacked. We all hope that the hacks will be as harmless as possible, if we can say harmless, but they're destined to get hacked.
Definitely.
Problem with that thing is that once you understand that you're being hacked, you have basically 2 things that you can do. Remove the liquidity completely, somehow withdraw all of the liquidity, stop any tradings on if it was act on exchanges. And the other thing you can do is basically trying to upload a hot fix to it as fast as possible, right? To replace the
Yeah.
smart contract. This takes a lot of time, and by the time that you understand what's going on, you probably got drained from all of these funds. Kima works in a whole different way. Kima works without smart contracts. So I will explain how Kima works, and I'm going to do all of this transaction in the most secure possible way with no smart contracts, no softwares on any end. So again, on Solana, we're sending 100 USDC.
Hmm.
If bridges are working, let's say from above as a bridge, Kima works from below as a protocol that connects everything together. On every blockchain, we have a Kima relay, a connector,
Hmm.
that connects that specific blockchain to the Kima network.
All right.
Imagine that taking an Ethernet cable and sticking it to the wall, and now you're connected to the internet. So the smart contract in Solana receives 100 USDC. The smart contract sends a message to the Kima relay, a message. It's not a transaction. We're
Hmm.
not computing anything. It's a message that says, if you see that $100 arrived here by that wallet with that transaction ID and that time step, etc. Send $100 to that address on Ethereum. The relay receives the message, drops it down to the Kima network. Now a magic happens. In our network, as I said, we have no users and we have no smart contracts. So what happens now is that 2/3 of the validators need to physically see that $100 have arrived to that specific multisig that is on the Solana side. Once the network validators see and confirm that this exact transaction from exact ID indeed arrived, something even more magical happens. On every CPU core of every validator, we're storing a shard of the seed phrase that creates the key, one of the keys, to release the funds on the other side, in our example, on Ethereum. So what happens now is that 2/3 of the nodes validated that it happened, each revealing its shard from the CPU core, forming all of the keys required, going to the Ethereum blockchain, to the multisig, and initiating a 100 USDC transaction to your wallet address. 3 magical, unhackable things happened here. The first thing is that we did not use any smart contracts. We used messages. So you cannot steal anything you can steal something that doesn't exist, right? I did not see any asset with the message. 2, the network validators themselves, the validators, 2/3 of them had to physically confirm that the asset is there. Once they confirm, all of them, they reveal a shard, encrypted, of course, on the CPU core, the most secure piece of hardware known to man today in computers, and forming the multisig keys, going to the Ethereum multisig, and releasing the funds, the 100 USDC. Brilliant. So 3 theoretically unhackable things happened here. And that's how Kima works differently than all the rest. Now, another very unique thing happened here, as you can say, a byproduct, but it's not a byproduct, it's intended, but you can see as a byproduct of the unique nature of the network. Due to the fact that Kima has no smart contracts on it and no assets to be managed on it, and technically no users on it, what we are doing now is enabling the existence of an SDK and an API. We're the only network on Earth, the only decentralized blockchain protocol that can receive and send API calls from the centralized world. I see. So your bank, for example, in a completely decentralized manner, can directly connect through Kima to the Ethereum network and receives confirmations of things that happened on Ethereum in a completely decentralized manner. No one is controlling it.
Yeah.
Then imagine that every blockchain is connected now through that relay to the Kima network. The Kima network enables any centralized entity to connect to the Kima network, to communicate with any blockchain in a completely decentralized manner. No intermediaries, nothing. Now, all of that magic happened, my friend, in the speed of light, because we are not resolving any transaction, right? The only latency was the time it took to Solana to finish the transaction and to Ethereum to finish the transaction.
Yeah.
This magic had no computing almost in it. This happened in the speed of light, like our video call.
I see. That was the question that I was just about to ask, how long does it take? That is what I was gonna ask. But yeah, it's amazing actually. You actually let like a giant doorway into all these Web2 companies and banks, etc. And maybe even making it more trustable and easy to access. So it's brilliant. I love it. And one question from the chat is, how many validators are there in Kima?
No, right now we're in testnet. To tell you the exact number of validators is hard for me because we're onboarding more and more daily.
Mhm.
I can only tell you that in the current testnet phase, we have some news to share with the people here. I think it has not been released even as a PR, so it's a scoop for you, for your show, that MasterCard's FinSec Innovation Labs have officially launched their Kima validator nodes on our network. So at the moment, they're actively participating in our testnet and, of course, on our mainnet to come. I assume that people know that we're invested by them.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's basically a scoop that I can share. Regarding the numbers, exact validators, I cannot specifically say.
Oh,
I
good.
can come
Okay.
back with an answer.
All right, sure thing. And one more maybe question from the chat is, well, I think we've already answered this actually, but if Kima bridges blockchains, why isn't it exactly a bridge is the question. But it kind of is a bridge in some sense, so maybe it's not even a question.
You can call it basically a bridgeless bridge, if you'd
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
So instead, but the whole word that was invented in the industry, is a bridge to bridge assets, is a word basically that we invented in DeFi, right? If you were to do like send something with your euros to US dollars between two banks, you would just say a bank
Exactly.
transfer. So we're just using a word called bridge, but we're calling it bridgeless bridge, which is kind of stupid, but kind of right.
Very nice, very nice. All right. Let me give you a much needed break and remind our users of your main website right here on your screens, everybody. Kima.finance is the link. Right now, Kima Network's Twitter page is being shared, but periodically you will see their main website as well. Please make sure you check it out throughoutly. Learn more about what Kima can do from e-commerce, lending, borrowing, gaming, NFT marketplaces, dexes, bridges, wallets, and much, much more is all available to use, especially if you're, a developer of any kind. Just see how you can interact with it, and it's amazing what they're building. So hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I have. And yeah, let's continue with our questions.
Yeah. And by the way, another tiny feedback, Kima Finance is basically the old website. It's pre my time. And we're building a whole new website, Kima.network. Don't try to get there because it's still under construction.
Sure.
We're building a whole new look of the website. And due to the fact that Kima has basically two faces, we have the TradFi face, TradFi CFI face, and we
Hmm.
have the DeFi face. We basically had to find a way to speak two languages to two different entities, right? Because we cannot speak to CFI and TradFi entities like we speak to DeFi entities.
Of course.
So the banks, you cannot speak to them as you're speaking, for example, to node validators, right? Or to token holders.
Yeah.
These are two completely different languages. Then Kima Finance is the black on white colors. It's like the good kids, you can say, speaking, the bankish language, the more professional jargon with the more simple explanations, and the direct TradFi CFI value. And Kima Network is going to be completely new breed of websites. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to speak basically to the Web3 industry as a whole. Much more daring. It's white on black, and I assume that you're going to see it live any day now. Completely different change. Follow us on Twitter and join our community to get more updates about the new website when we launch it.
Hopefully, hopefully. We'll do some reminders of your socials as well. I've taken a look at them and it's always active and I love it. But I want to first
Yeah.
know a little bit more about your economic model in Kima. I think your token is also called Kima. So what is it used for in the ecosystem? What benefits does it bring to its holders? Things like that.
Okay, so basically, Kima is a proof of stake network. So exactly like Ethereum, you cannot do anything without Kima Network. You need Kima Network to send communication. on the network to send the messages, and you need Kima tokens in order to operate validator nodes. The unique thing about Kima also and the Kima token is that Kima basically doesn't need users on it, but it's going to have all the users on it. It sounds confusing, but that's how it works. So imagine that you're now a dApp owner on Solana.
All right.
Now you have all the right reasons to be on Solana, but you also have all the right reasons to leave Solana, let's say, to enjoy the benefits of I don't know, the Polygon ecosystem. Now, through Kima, you can basically stay on Solana. We're not migrating you anywhere, and we're not moving your assets. We're not removing the liquidity. So it's great for the networks because they need to show TVL, they need to show the transaction volumes, they need to show the protocols, they need to show their users.
Yeah.
As a dApp owner, you're not leaving anywhere. But once, remember, you connected to the Kima relay for some kind of interoperability purpose, your users are now going on the Kima network. They're using Kima's network. Your users do not even know that Kima exists. They don't know what Kima is. Exactly like, imagine that you're now visiting a website. That website is being secured by a DDoS attacks by Cloudflare. You don't even know
exactly.
that you're in a website, what Cloudflare is. You don't know what Microsoft Azure is that is hosting the website. You have no idea what's happening behind there, right? But you're just using the website. All of your users of the website are basically users of Cloudflare. They're all users of Microsoft Azure. They don't even know that you exist, right? Our internet communication, we have huge fiber optics running under the oceans and connecting continents, right? We're all using them for internet communication. Now, none of us know who is the company that owns these huge fiber optics under the ocean.
Yeah.
The one you're paying for is your internet service provider. And you just connect to the internet. They're doing everything through them. This is Kima. So all of these people that will use, people and computers that will be using the Kima network's magic are automatically becoming Kima users. So Kima is not targeting only specific users to arrive to it, but all users to use it. Like we're all using TCP/IP, we're all using DNS, we're all using HTTP, HTTPS.
Definitely.
We have no idea. Exactly the same thing goes with Kima. Every time that you do this, a fraction of a Kima token is used to send this magical communication.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not even, you're not even a user anymore. It's just the norm and the standard. So yeah, I see that. All right. Thank you so much for that answer. And let's remind chat of your socials really quickly. Here on your screens, guys. Kima Network, pretty straightforward. The links were being shared in the chat. And also they have a brilliant Telegram group chat as well. You can see updates like our AMA here and some hype messages and community chatting. If you want some questions answered maybe after the AMA, check it out. They all have links on their main website. Well, I guess main website will change in a little bit, but yeah, Kima.finance.
You want to see a preview of the new website?
Ooh,
you want us to share it? If I'm sharing my screen, will it show?
I can adjust, I think. Yeah, sure.
Can we?
Sure, we can do that.
So, do you see my screen now being shared?
All right, let me make it big. There we go. Yes, we can.
Great. Then you're now looking at the work in progress version of our whole new website. As you can see, it's a little bit more Web3-ish and fitting for our amazing and innovative industry than the previous, in my opinion, boring website. Then
looks great.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, we're working with Sigma. Thanks, of course, to our amazing friends at ChainGPT that are incubating Kima and are helping us create this amazing thing. This is still empty. As you can see, they're still working on it. That's basically explains how Kima works in a simplified way and how we're different than the rest. You can see this tiny engine machine that is operating here. You can
Very
get
nice.
explanation on each and every process. Yeah, I love this website.
Yeah, the visuals are very important in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. I couldn't agree more. So yeah, this is the new website that we're creating. You will be seeing it live very soon, I hope.
Brilliant, brilliant. I love it. Thank you so much for showing it to us. It's like a sneak peek, you know, very special thing.
Yeah.
All right, let me readjust
Thank you.
the camera right away, and we'll continue with our questions. So, all right, just give me one more second. There we go. Perfect. All right, so let's continue talking a little bit about your, you know, Kima aims to streamline cross-chain transfers without relying on synthetic assets. So
Yeah.
could you detail how this process works and what its advantages are? I think we've, kind of covered a little
Yeah.
bit of it, but you can
Yeah.
remind us.
So remember the machine that operates on both sides?
Yeah.
So we're now going to transfer not stables because okay, I will go take a step back. The basics of our network is stablecoins. Stablecoins are one of the few assets that naturally exist in their natural form, not synthetic and not wrapped version, on almost every chain, right?
Yeah.
So the USDC that you have on Tron, and the USDC that you have on Solana, and the USDC you have on Ethereum, and the USDC that you have on any other network is basically the same USDT and USDC, but completely different form of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same. It's the same native asset. So our entry and exit points in my next magic trick are going to be, of course, stablecoins. So we're going now to send a traditional way ETH. I'm sending now one ETH from Ethereum to Solana, and I'm going to send it back. Now, when I'm sending one ETH from Ethereum to Solana with a bridge, I'm going basically to wrap ETH or to generate a synthetic version of it on Solana, sending one ETH, getting a confirmation from the smart contract that one ETH arrived, and one SETH on Solana has now been minted, right, from the contract.
Yeah.
That signifies that ETH that I've just sent to the safe here, to the vault. Now, when I'm sending it back, I will be sending SETH in order to receive ETH. So sending SETH, burn, and I'm releasing one ETH from the safe to your wallet. Again, smart contract, hackable. I find a way to trick it, and I'm draining out all the ETH from the Ethereum side by tricking you.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. What we're creating is the same process now in the most secure possible way. So, as I remind you, we're working in the speed of light, but still, of course, changes can happen. But let's say that there's not too much volatility in these few fractions of seconds. I'm going to send one ETH on that side on Ethereum. One ETH enters, 3,500 USDC have arrived. We're taking the ETH, liquidating to USDC, and USDC arrives to the safe. We're getting message to the Kima relay. Kima relay sends the message that he received the $3,500 for an ETH, and he needs to issue an SETH on Solana by the wrapped asset issuer. Doesn't matter. We're taking $3,500, and we're now buying with it as ETH.
Yeah.
We've just transferred an asset. Basically, it happens the moment it liquidates, it's getting confirmation, and it's being bought. It's like fractions of a second.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, differences can happen, right? On this way, let's say you can get 1.001 ETH or 0.9999998 ETH. So, but you got the ETH without risking the ETH itself on any side. So let's say that you will try to steal. Let's say that now you're trying to steal ETH from the bridge on the Ethereum side to give your synthetic, your wrapped as ETH, and to receive an ETH. You will have basically to send as ETH, liquidate it to USDC, and we will be receiving USDC to buy with it ETH. There is no way for you to steal the ETH on that side. No way, because it doesn't exist. And your ETH had to be liquidated to actual USDC. If it wasn't, there's nothing to steal.
I see.
And this is how we're doing it in a very, very secure, bridgeless bridge way.
And one thing I'm wondering about that is, let's say one of the ends changed their smart contract technology. How does Kima respond to that? Does it fix it automatically? Does it adapt to it? And I'm not sure if
We're basically we're completely agnostic. So Kima is not actually doing the transfer that I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing on Kima is the relay. There's the relay that you guys, the creators, the developers, can build whatever you want using the communication through the Kima network. Kima is not here to transfer ETH. Kima is not here to transfer USDC or USDT. Kima is here to make everything interoperable, to allow everything to build. If you are the developer, you built this bridgeless bridging. If you're the developer, you've created this cross-chain swaps without smart contracts. So it's not us. These are not our products. These are some of the things that can be done with Kima. For example, let's say that you are a bank. So for a bank, you can, through Kima, because we have an API and an SDK, to create on your bank side the connection to Kima to allow liquidations, for example, of ETH on Ethereum. So you will be going to your bank, connecting directly your wallet to your bank, signing a transaction, confirming, and linking, binding your wallet to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The bank now, you're at your bank app, you're deciding to buy Apple stocks.
Yeah.
Then you would like to buy Apple stocks worth of 1 ETH.
I see.
The bank will send the order to liquidate 1 ETH from your wallet. You will liquidate the 1 ETH. ETH goes to 3,500 USDC. Bank gets confirmation 3,500 USDC worth of Apple stocks are now in your bank account. So this is the possibilities that you can basically do with Kima. Now it's limitless.
Yes,
you can build
limitless.
whatever you want. Like, for example, let's connect Twitter API to it, right?
Yeah.
So as an influencer, let's say that someone creates such an innovation, Twitter API connected to Kima Network, and every time that one SOL is being sent to a specific wallet address with a specific message of a link to a tweet that you choose on that side, then do an automatic tweet from an influencer's account. Then the Kima network will do all of it automatically. I will go as an advertiser. I will pay 100. I will pay, 1 SOL. I will put the tweet that I want. I will click send. The tweet and the 1 SOL will arrive. Will initiate through Twitter's SDK, through Twitter's API, a retweet for that from that influencer's account, for example, completely automatically in a decentralized manner. So it's limitless,
Yeah, it's
the
very
amount of
cool.
things you can do.
All right. Thank you so much
I know.
for that answer. It's that explains it perfectly, I think. And there's much love in the chat as well. And looking towards the future now, how does Kima Network plan to expand its ecosystem and, maybe new functionalities or integrations that our users can expect? I'm not sure if you have anything like that because, it's already, I would believe, in a perfect condition and you explained it very well, but maybe more information if you
So
have.
imagine that Kima is like a canvas for developers to create whatever they want, right? You remember the Ethereum commercial that Vitalik used to, he had like back in the day for Ethereum? He would explain about Ethereum, and you can Google it, you can YouTube it, by the way. It's very nice, like to see, it's very nostalgic.
Right.
He finishes by saying, after, it was presenting smart contracts, it was magic, like proof of concept, right? You had Bitcoin
Mm-hmm.
network, proof of concept for decentralization, and then smart contracts, and he ends by saying, what will you build on Ethereum? And we say, like, what will you build using Kima?
Yeah.
It's limitless. The amount of innovation that can be made via such a layer, such technologies, not limited to something specific. So how we're planning to grow? Well,
Yeah.
we're hoping to spread the message as far and wide as we can, so developers will start innovating with it. We're solving quite a few of the problems that we have in the industry today, right? Ease of use.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we have no way to connect the centralized to decentralized.
Yeah.
We're now
Security.
allowing security, liquidity. We're enabling liquidity. Imagine that all of the liquidity on all chains suddenly becomes one. It's accessible to you as one source
Yeah.
through
It's
Kima.
like a dream, but it's it's coming true. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, unlimited.
All right. Thank you so much for that explanation. And anything that you want to add before we say our goodbyes?
Well, you're more than welcome to join to our amazing community on Telegram or Discord. We have also an airdrop campaign happening at the moment
Mm-hmm.
that does not require you at the moment to do all kind of nasty tasks like test dummies on testnet. It's basically do all kind of fun activities related to the community and development ideas, etc. And we're
Oh,
also always updating. It's on Zilly.
all right.
Yeah, innovating a bit from the rest, and we're inviting all the developers, of course, to contact us to start building using Kima, and we even have a grant program that grants quite a lot of Kima tokens to innovators who would like to onboard the platform. So join our channels, find us on Twitter, and looking forward to see all of you using the Kima network very, very soon.
All right. Thank you once again for your time. It's been very nice. I'm very glad to have met you. Maybe in the future we'll do this again with maybe you or some other team member. I would love to know more about Kima and their accomplishments in the future. Thanks once again and take care. It's been
Thank
an honor.
you. It will be our pleasure. Tell us when and where, and we will be there. More
All
than
right.
happy to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Take care. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Okay, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed Mr. Tomer as much as I have. Been in the industry for like 12 years, I believe, ever since 2017. It's a long time that he's been in the industry, and he knows his way around the project. As you can see, this was one of the better AMAs that we had. I love it when a, you know, representative knows its way in and out of a project that they're representing. So thank you for him for joining once again. Make sure you check out Kima.finance. In the future, it's going to be Kima.network. Don't forget about that. And the UI looks amazing. We just saw a sneak peek, and we're very proud to, access such a thing. So I'm very glad. And make sure that you check them out on their socials, Kima Network, right here. Pretty straightforward. The links are being shared in the chat periodically and will be shared once more. And also their Telegram if you want to stay informed. They also have a brilliant Discord community. Check out their ongoing Zeely campaign. Do some interesting stuff there. If you have any brilliant ideas that, will utilize Kima, make sure to, be heard in the community. Check it out. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys again on the next one. Take care and goodbye.